welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is Rachel Amma, and for this week's video I wanted to do a homemade cheeky Nando's at home. Now if you were in the UK, you obviously know all about a cheeky Nando's. Don't know why it's called cheeky, it's just Nando's. If you go to Nando's and you're vegan like me, you will know that there's nothing for you. There are vegetarian options which you can adjust and make them vegan friendly, which means you kind of get like half a meal because you don't get everything. So we're just gonna scrap that today. We're gonna do some homemade cooking and make something epic. We're using ingredients like cauliflower, carrots, cabbage. They're seasonal, they're cheap, they're cheerful, and I'm gonna flavor those bad boys up and make something so epic and simple and delicious that you don't need to go out. You can make a takeaway at home, and it's just amazing. And it's all with ingredients that you guys know so well. We're not using any seitan or anything, we're just using vegetables. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you're excited. If you're vegan, cheeky Nando's at home, homemade takeaway. I don't know, there's so many different names we can call this, but I hope you enjoy it. Thumbs up if you are, and subscribe because I'm back with more recipes to share with you guys. And let's get into this recipe. Like I said, I've got my Nando's Peri marinade, and you can use any marinade that you like, whether it's barbecue, buffalo sauce, a jerk marinade, any of your favorite marinades you can use. Then I've got my cauliflower, I've got red cabbage, white cabbage, carrots, some lime, some coriander, and I also got these vegan brioche buns, which I got in Tesco's, but you could use like a pita to keep it really Nando's-y. And watch me elevate these simple ingredients to make our vegan burger. First things first, I've got my cauliflower, and I just want to take off the leaves so I can work out how to properly cut it. They all come in different shapes and sizes, and I basically want to make a patty out of it, so I need like a good length cauliflower. So I'm just lining it up roughly with my knife so I can figure out how to keep the stem and everything intact. So I'm going just off center down the middle, and then you can see the stem is what's going to keep it all together, and that's what we need in order to keep a patty size. And then I'm just kind of measuring out the thickness that I want. If you go really thick, it's just going to cook a bit longer. If you go too thin, it might be a little bit measly. So just about a medium size is really good. And as you can see, you can pick it up, you can throw it around. It's pretty sturdy, all the little bits are sticking together. Now to make a nice marinade. I've got some regular flour. You could use chickpea flour, any gluten-free flour that you prefer. Then I'm going to add in some smoked paprika and a pinch of salt. And you can also add way more ingredients. I'm just keeping it simple for this video. Then I'm using a plant-based milk, which you could also use just water. Give it a good mix, and I'm also going to add in some of this marinade just to keep the flavors fluid and delicious. And you just want to keep mixing it until you've got like a really nice batter. You don't want it too thin because it will just slide straight off the cauliflower, but you don't want it too thick that it's stodgy, so like a nice medium thickness. So now I'm just going to get my sturdy cauliflower, place it into the batter, cover it really well. You can let this sit for a couple minutes while you preheat the oven, and you want to make sure that the oven is nice and hot. So I'm going 200 degrees C in the UK. In America that's like 400 and something, don't quote me. So I'm going to add my cauliflower to a baking tray, throw it in the preheated oven that is nice and hot, and this is going to cook for about 20 minutes. While that's cooking away, I'm going to prepare the rest of the ingredients for our big bad burger. I'm going to make a really simple slaw, so I'm going to grate down some carrots, add them straight to a bowl, and then I'm going to slice up some red cabbage. You can also grate this instead if you prefer. If you have a mandolin, use that. So I've got white cabbage, red cabbage, carrots. I've added a little bit of vinegar. I added some vegan mayonnaise and also some salt and pepper. You could also add in some mustard. I did as well add in some coriander. I just lost the footage, aka cilantro. Just some fresh herbs, salt, pepper, vegan mayo, bit of vinegar or lime, and then you want to leave it to sit aside. Now I'm going to make something quite fun. I have a mango and I've got this Scotch bonnet hot sauce, and I'm going to mix those together to make a really lazy but simple mango spicy dip. So I've got a nice ripe one here. I'm just going to slice it up. You could just peel it, but this one was quite tough, so I sliced it up to make it easier for myself. But essentially we just want to get that mango nice and ready. Cut it up into rough chunks because we are going to blend it and pulse it down. Don't forget, you got to eat the pip. That's the best part. So I'm adding all my mango chunks into this little pot. Now we're just going to blend it and pulse it down to make a nice smooth paste. And then once I have this, I'm gonna add it straight into a saucepan. I'm adding a little bit of water as well. And then we're gonna put this on a heat and we're gonna cook this down. Now, again, if you wanna be creative, you can add a lot more to this. I even have a really delicious mango ketchup recipe in my cookbook. But for the sakes of making really simple recipes, today, we are literally just gonna add in some hot sauce. And mine is a Scotch bonnet hot sauce. But you could use any of your favorite hot sauce. And you just wanna taste it to adjust the heat of your mango. The mango is just gonna add a nice sweetness to it, a nice fun tropical element to the burger, quite refreshing with a nice pinch of heat from the hot sauce. So you wanna keep cooking it and cooking it down until you get like a more of a thicker consistency. You can again make this even smoother. You could even add some sweetness to make it stickier, but I just wanted the natural sweetness of the mango. So now we've got our cauliflower patty. So the flour gives a nice crunch on the outer layer, and now I'm gonna grill it. So I've got more marinade here, get my grill, and I'm just gonna place it on, brush on some more of that marinade, make it nice and sticky, make it nice and delicious. And it's just gonna sizzle away. As you can see, I've accidentally, not carefully flipped it, and I've lost some of the batter, but it's so delicious. You can even see here how much it coats the cauliflower. I'm also gonna toast my brioche buns, which you could use a pita. First layer, we are going mango, Scotch bonnet, ketchup-y dip, a nice generous amount. And then we're gonna add our patty straight on top. And that is absolutely delicious. Followed by some fresh tomatoes, because I love tomatoes, my coleslaw, and a little bit of mayo on the top. And you could add so much more to this to make your favorite burger. But let me tell you, this was absolutely delicious. Genuinely, like, I'm gonna have to figure out a way that I can make these for people and sell them somewhere this summer. Maybe Rachel will do a pop-up. To continue making our feast, I'm gonna make some homemade baked potatoes, just with some potatoes and some peri seasoning. So I am gonna peel my potatoes because they're not organic. But if you wanna keep them on, keep them on. And if you do peel them, if you wanna repurpose them, you can actually cook them separately, fry them separately, and make little chips. And then you just wanna roughly chop them into big chips. Now I want big crunchy chips. It's easier when you home bake them and you get a nice crisp on the outside while still having that fluffiness on the inside. Now you want to get them relatively the same size, just so that they cook at roughly the same time. So these are all my chunky chips. To begin cooking them, I'm going to start off by parboiling them. So I'm just going to add them into this pot. And I'm gonna fill this pot with cold water. And you just wanna fill it up until you cover the chips. Once they're covered, we're gonna add them to some heat, bring it to a boil, reduce and cook for 3 to 5 minutes only. And then I'm just gonna drain my potatoes. We don't want them soft, we just wanna slightly cook the outside layer so that we can get them nice and crispy in the oven. Now I've got some oil that I heated in the oven, it's about a tablespoon. And I'm gonna mix in the potatoes and some sea salt and mix it together, keeping it really simple. And if you wanna bake these without oil, of course you can. Just skip out the oil, they're not gonna be as crispy, but if it suits your lifestyle, then yas, skip out the oil. And again, you can season these up to your preference. I just wanna keep it simple for the video, but you can add so much to these or keep them simple. Now I'm gonna add these to a preheated oven, which is really hot, same temperature, 210 degrees Celsius, and then cook them. Meanwhile, I've got the rest of my cauliflower, all the bits that either didn't make it into the patty, or you can just cook them this way instead so you get cauliflower bites. Either way, we're not wasting any of the cauliflower, all of the cauliflower gets cooked. So you just wanna mix it in with that exact same batter that we made earlier, spread it out on a baking tray, put it in the oven, keep an eye on it, it takes about 20 minutes. Then I've got some vegetables that I'm just gonna grill. I'm using corn, and I've also got some red peppers. You could add some aubergines, some courgettes, whatever you have in the fridge, just grill them up, and it's gonna be such a nice addition to this feast. So I'm gonna roughly chop up my red peppers, super simple. Then to my griddle pan, I'm gonna add my corn. You could also boil it if you prefer, but I'm just gonna grill all of my veggies, put them on the pot. And the red peppers take the quickest, so once they're done, I'm gonna add in the cauliflower bites that have been cooking in the oven. And lastly, just like I did before, I'm gonna brush on loads more of that marinade, get them sizzling, get them cooking, adding more and more flavors, more dimensions, and look at the color you get. You can see they're slightly crispy, they're delicious. They are covered in flavor, which is exactly what we want. Now my chips are nice and ready. I pull them out of the oven and have a look. This is how I love my chips. I love crispy chips. Soft and fluffy on the inside, crispy on the outside. I'm just adding in some peri seasoning, mixing it together, and you can hear the crispiness. Oh yes, perfect. And here we have our big feast. We have some coleslaw, we have our mango Scotch ketchup, our homemade fries, our burger, we've got the grilled corn, the grilled peppers, we've got our cauliflower bites, and lastly, I added a last addition, which is some jollof. I was very honored to be gifted this the other day, so I had to add it in, like NANDOS, what do they call it? NANDOS spicy rice. Forget that, add some jollof. Way better. And here is the feast. It was honestly, guys, so delicious. Try it out. It's so simple. All basic ingredients you can get at your supermarket. Make it for your friends, make it for your family, make it for yourself. Just enjoy it. You know I like to season up my plant-based foods, and this feast made me very happy. And what's great about using a griddle pan is you can griddle all your veg. So much flavor. I really hope you guys enjoyed the recipes. Honestly, that was a feast. It was so delicious. Genuinely, that burger, the flavors. NANDOS, hit me up if you want to collab. Let's get more people eating vegan options, just saying. Let's make it easier for people to choose vegan, just saying. If you want more of my recipes, don't forget to check out my cookbook, RachelAmaVeganEats. I've got over 100 recipes, flavorful recipes, delicious recipes, simple recipes, Rachel Ama recipes. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the theme this week and you enjoyed the recipes. Don't forget to let me know if you made them on Instagram. Hit me up. I love seeing what you guys are doing. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Cheeky NANDOS at home. We're not calling it cheeky. Let's call it, yeah, it is what it is.